Hi guys.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning. It is, well, we're a couple of minutes early. And it is, still waking up. If my hands feel cold, I had my cold shower, but I didn't do a cold plunge. So I see a few people joining on. Let me check the temperature outside, Finn.
Good morning. I think we're getting some more and more people. Welcome. Hi, Sandra. Good morning. Good morning, Ruth. Shalom. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well.
It's
Welcome.
exactly on. Hey, Marty. It's exactly on 0 degrees.
He's lying. Don't believe him.
Sandra. It is 0, which is neither +1 or -1. Good morning, Becky. Nice to see you.
Hi, Diane.
Dan, hi there.
How you doing?
So yes, it's 0. It's freezing here. That would be 32. Santiago, hola. Es un amigo peruano. Hola.
Ruth.
Shalom. Hi, Laura. Nice to see you. Good morning, everyone. It is 6:45 a.m. here. It's nice to see everyone. And I know everyone's been wanting to see Finn. Now that, he's still, as you can see, my tiny baby. Actually, let's go back to back. See? Look at that. He's standing on his toes.
No, I'm not.
No?
That's on my
That's-
toes. See, I'm taller than you.
So that's how close we're getting. But Finn is in grade 12 now.
Apparently.
Hey, good morning, Merle. Nice to see you. Hola, amigo. Aquí estamos entrando. Harriet's here.
Hi, Harriet.
Everyone, Harriet is here all the way from Uganda. So we have, hey, Chloe, good morning to you. Hi, Deborah. Nice to see you. Like father, like son. Well, so we thought we'd do a little bit of a breakfast routine. Hey, Jolene.
Oh, hey, Joe.
Yeah. See, it's fun. Hey, MB. Nice to see you there. Good morning. So,
Be welcome.
so we do apologize if we don't say hi to everyone, and that's because we're on Facebook Live, because everyone tells me the feed is better on Facebook Live. So hopefully you're hearing us well. Hey, Julie, nice to see you. But literally we get one line that comes through, so very quickly. Well, congratulations, Finn Harriet. He hasn't actually finished grade 12 yet. But actually, in all seriousness,
Yeah, I gotta start again.
we're going to start again from 0 because he's not allowed to leave home. Good morning, Sherry. But the reality is, so Finn will start applying to universities.
October. So
October.
in about a month exactly, actually.
Yeah.
Start applying to uni then, and then we'll figure out if the rest of my life is going to be good or not, depending on that 1 month.
Although he'll apply to university, he'll be accepted, no problem. But then he's not allowed to leave home, so it's irrelevant.
Yeah, it's irrelevant. So yeah.
But people keep asking, what you're basically thinking about 2 universities. Is that correct?
Yes. So the 2 universities I'm thinking about are either the University of Calgary, which is in, come on guys, in Calgary, or the U of A Faculté Saint-Jean, which is the French campus. Only Francophone campus in Alberta, and it is a very good school. I have quite a lot of friends who've gone there already, some friends who are planning on going there. So those are my 2 options. At the end of the day, it'll probably come down to location for me. They both offer the courses that I'm interested in, so it kind of depends on what I'm thinking about. Maybe some scholarships at the French school, which could be good
Yep.
news. But
And Edmonton,
Edmonton's cool.
it's cool. Edmonton's 4 hours drive from here, whereas Calgary, of course, is about an hour and a half, barely, to the university. So obviously Calgary's quite appealing that way.
The other useful thing about Edmonton is you get to go watch hockey games for a team that doesn't royally suck. So that's really quite incredibly interesting too.
Hey, cheering for the Calgary Flames is a little bit like cheering for the Titanic, right?
Yeah.
Although we don't know this year because the entire team quit last year, so
Yeah, that's great.
we don't even know what's going to happen.
But I mean, the Oilers, we seem to be the best team every year, and then we don't be the
And
best team.
then you don't. But
Yeah.
that's
Hey,
hockey.
last time we were Stanley Cup final was the year I was born, so maybe it's my curse.
Sorry, Lisa. What did I missed your question?
Exactly.
Finn is in Edmonton. Yeah, so Finn was actually born in Edmonton. So it's hey, there's Tanya. Good morning, Tanya. I had lunch with Tanya's husband yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who's, I don't know his name.
I don't know his name either.
I think maybe Jethro.
But Finn was born in Edmonton, which of course is a mark he'll have to wear his whole life. But he's a Banff kid, so we thought what we'd do is have breakfast and have a bit of a catch up with everyone because it's lovely. But also, there's a couple of events that have happened here recently that are. There's been a lot in the world in the last couple of weeks that's been pretty serious.
Yeah.
Obviously, there was an earthquake in in Morocco, which was both tragic and these things, I guess when you have a personal connection you always make. I actually knew two people who were traveling around Marrakesh at that time, independently of each other, and they were fine, of course, but goodness me, I mean, fortunately they seem to have a fairly effective response system in Morocco, but just tragic. And then the events in Libya, I think, while shocking if you've been following the news, a massive storm, and I want to get on to storms because, of course, here we are living the effects of climate change at the moment. But the fact that they had a storm in what is, of course, at the end of the day, an extremely dry desert. I'm just waking up. I just had my cold shower, by the way. Hey, Mary Lou. But but the fact that these dams had not been worked on for decades and burst, can you imagine the tragedy of what those people have gone through? So, I think it's always good at least to think. I mean, we tend to support white helmets in that part of the world and support Doctors Without Borders. Yeah. So, just mention that.
So obviously our hearts go out to everyone affected by those conflicts. What's happened in Morocco obviously is devastating with the earthquake. Yeah. Hopefully there's some good support going on there. I know some of the countries around there have also been involved in sport. If there's a way that you can, try and help out, that would be greatly appreciated. We've done some kind of fundraisers in the past. We don't really have the platform to be doing that anymore, unfortunately. But if you do have the option to, then please do, because it is useful. And
Raquel, hola.
Oh, yeah.
Eso es mi amiga Raquel de Chiloé.
Oh, de Chiloé. Hola.
Chiloé, hola, bienvenidos. We have a celebrity with us. No sé si habla inglés ahora, Raquel, but Raquel is an artist in southern Chile, and we got to know each other over 20 years ago. It's lovely to see her. Now here in Canada,
got our own news.
Got our own news. So one of the realities is, of course, we're talking about an El Nino, which means a drier winter than normal.
That actually means a boy.
The river, the Bow River, running through Calgary. Obviously, it's the same river that flows through here in Banff, and it starts about 80 kilometers from here. So we're 52 kilometers from Lake Louise. 30 more, you're up at the headwaters. It is at its lowest since they began doing records in 1911. Calgary is on water restrictions. Yes, Finn's got out the good maple syrup.
Yes.
So, Santiago, no sé, amigo. Don't know when I'm going to get back to Peru, but I sure want to. So that is one of the environmental realities. But instead of talking about that, we had protests across Canada yesterday, which was the 1 million March for Children, which managed to gather somewhere around 4,000 people, maybe 5
which,
across the
if
country.
there's any mathematicians in the room, is a bit shy of 1 million. It's
So what was heartening, at least, is the counter protesters were outnumbered the protesters. So that's Christine. It's nice to see you. So the fact that people feel it's their space, and I did a TikTok about this because I think it's really important. But if you feel like it's your role to go hold up a sign saying we're protecting our children by not being inclusive, then you're actually a bad person. And I mean that. I'm happy to say it out loud. I am a little bit older than my son, which seems odd. Give or take a few years. So I grew up going to school before we had equal marriage and a more open society that way. And we all grew up with that really offensive, the slurs that people would make. And so, I mean, that was there, right? And now it really isn't. And again, not to name names or anything, but Finn is lucky to have gone to the same school. Well, if you make it through this year, you will have done kindergarten to grade 12 in the same school. Pre-K. Yep. So you'll have done 14 years in the same school growing up. And am I correct in saying 2 students have transitioned while you've been there?
3.
Three.
So yeah, we have 3 students in my age groups transition while I've been at school. And 3 students doesn't sound like a lot, but keep in mind, as a percentage, that's probably effectively a little bit higher than the percentage of the population, given the fact our school was about 130 people.
But if you take that over 14 years, I guess the point is still not statistically
no, exactly.
that improbable.
Got, one friend in my class, and then we've had 2 people who've gone, different grades.
Well, come out or whatever.
Yeah,
whatever.
Exactly.
That is what a safe, inclusive environment looks like. And you know what? Not a single child has committed suicide. So, if you feel the need to say you're standing up for freedom and children, then oh boy, you better be standing up for inclusivity and diversity and that sort of thing. So it's very important for us to stand up against this. And you know what? I feel like because I come from settler roots in this country, and I come from the general, traditional, Canada's changing quickly, but the majority population, then it really bothers me even more when I see these protests, and so many of them are these angry white guys.
Yeah.
And this is all, and I'll use this word, the discharge from the so-called freedom convoy that took over our national capital 3 years ago. 60% of their money came from outside the country. I mean, this kind of hate-filled attacks on things, I think, is just, something for us all to acknowledge. On that note, it is breakfast time. So, Finn Toomey got up good and early. So it's 5 to 7 in the morning here, Alberta time. And Finn is just getting ready to make whole wheat
pancakes, protein pancakes.
Protein pancakes.
Protein pancakes. So this is a fun little recipe. I have actually a mix that I use, and I add some other stuff into it. So it's just this. It's pretty simple. It's Kodiak cakes. You can grab them from Costco. I've made them on tour before. That is real Canadian maple syrup. Actually, that is not the maple syrup on... Here, I'll get to this in a second. Anyways, you can get the pancake mix at Costco. It's pretty easy to make. And then I just mix that in with a little bit of my own protein powder, some milk, and 1 egg. And these are going to be really good. I honestly can't taste much of a difference in these and like authentic pancakes. And these ones are quite a lot better for you. So there's easy benefit. I also cut up some dates to put on top. I kind of like putting dates in my pancakes. It's kind of good. And then the other thing we've got here, so this is just the bottle, but the maple syrup we have inside here.
No one's allowed to edit this video and say that Finn cut up his date.
No, I didn't do that. I didn't do that. But the maple syrup inside of this bottle's just you can ignore the bottle. This is Camp. It's a good Canadian brand as well. But the maple syrup in here is from Chez Dany in Quebec, Trois-Rivières. And we have often used them as a school fundraiser. Maple syrup that comes in a can, and that's a pretty good marker of knowing it's legit. Because if you keep it in a plastic bottle, or even in some glass bottles, it's often going to crystallize.
Yeah, and then you can't get the top off.
Can't get the top off, or the plastic gets into your maple syrup.
I'm not sure did I ever
Lowers the grade.
do a Hego from
with
Chez
Chez
Dany?
Dany, I don't know.
I put up pictures. Danny's an old friend of mine, but he has a sugar shack, which is halfway between Montreal and Quebec, so it's just a lovely thing.
Yeah, but that's the maple syrup in here, so we are supporting regardless. A good friend of some Francophone school fundraisers. We're going to use them for our grad as well, actually, this year. So that's
my
nice,
breakfast
but,
is really tough here because I'm supporting the Argentine economy, so I do. So I make my mate in the morning, although I was having a warm tea because, isn't it fun, Rennie? But I really, truly, I've been doing my cold plunges, but this morning I just had a quick shower and then I try and do 3 minutes of a pure cold. And keep in mind, we live at 1,500 meters and our water is below freezing in the morning. But I did swim the other day when it was -4 outside, was the ambient temperature. And the water felt good, but it was very hard walking out on the rocks. But so I have my mate. I do, and incidentally, everyone, I do want to say within this online community that we have as well, a friend of ours, lost her mother last week. So I just want to offer a big hug to our friend Martine as well. Hi Laurel, good morning to you. So this is my kid for who hasn't met him. I did have a question for you, Finn.
Yeah.
What is a similarity between the Eiffel Tower and a tick?
I don't know, Dad. What is a similarity between the Eiffel Tower and a tick?
They're both parasites.
Well done.
Come on, tell me that wasn't absolutely. And Laurel's saying hi. Laurel was recently on the tour with me.
Laurel.
So, what I've done with my mate, so Finn is the cook in the family. What did you make last night? It was fantastic.
Oh yeah, last night I made grilled chicken thighs that had like a soy, ginger, garlic glaze on them. And then I made there's a restaurant in Toronto called Lee that we ate at while we were there. Some of you may know I was in Toronto a little while ago. And his name's actually Chef Saoirse Lee. He's a Canadian chef. He won MasterChef Canada. And he's
Oh,
opened his own
yeah.
restaurant in Toronto, really excellent. So he's got an Asian slaw that's got something like 36 ingredients in it. It's incredible. So last night I kind of made a home version of that. Bit of a copycat, but a bit of some different ingredients in there. And then I made some Asian dirty fries too. They're pretty good.
I made tea.
Yeah. Well, nice, Des.
And last night I blended my greens too.
Dreams.
Mary Beth, I have a question for you because I know you have a connection to this. But if April showers bring Mayflowers, what do Mayflowers bring? Pilgrims.
Oh, I threw it off the edge.
Oh,
Don't watch my flip, guys. That was a bad flip.
Oh, Finn was laughing so hard he missed with the pancake.
Yeah, Dad gets that one.
So,
I missed the other one too. That wasn't very good.
we were just waking up. In fact, it was a good sleep. We called it night just after 10. You know, and that's that wasn't that good, Lisa. That was a fun one. So, yeah, I thought the dryer was shrinking my clothes, but it turned out that it was the refrigerator all along. That was less good. All right, that's enough humor. But we wanted to have a bit of a more
Yeah, a bit more of a sophisticated chat than we usually do in these goofy mornings.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll move on to some more global news. I was kind of thinking, you know, these mornings do kind of like a last week, this morning type thing. You know, talk about kind of what's going on, talk about ourselves, have some Q&A with you guys. But one of the things that's obviously big in the current political sphere, especially here in Canada, is our current diplomatic situation with India, which has been the cause for a lot of conversations. I know especially in my age group as well. Here in Banff with quite a large Indian population, predominantly Punjabi, predominantly Sikh. And so there is obviously quite a large disparity there in between, you know, different peoples. And it is definitely causing some problems. I believe that that Modi has now said that Canada, anti-India, or condoning anti-India behavior.
Well, so in this country, of course,
Yeah.
50% of the population roughly wake up and speak English in the morning, about 24% speak French. Third most spoken language in Canada is Chinese, although...
Mandarin.
Well, you don't want to break that
Yeah,
down.
you want to break that down, Mandarin Cantonese.
And then Punjabi, right? And the leader of our third largest political party happens to be Sikh.
Yeah.
Political party I support. But there is a large population in the greater Vancouver area called Surrey, but it would appear...
And Brampton as well.
But it would appear that agents of the Indian government actually came to Canada and killed someone.
Yeah.
And it was, I think, quite brave of the Prime Minister to call that out.
Yes.
But, you know, once again, we see this geopolitics, we see this continuous rise of populist politics, and it's important in this country not to get too roped into that, I think is really important. Here I am, by the way, for those who are interested, draining my tea, so I don't let it steep very long at all. If you drink this tea properly in Argentina or Uruguay, you just pour in enough to sip it each time, but that's kind of fine. But so that's actually just a little bit of real news that's going on in the world.
Oh, that's the coffee pot. You can't put the knife in there. The one thing I'll say that is kind of interesting in terms of our discussions, you know, at school or in our friendship circles around town, around my age group at the moment about this whole conflict, is the fact that, you know, as there have been some countries saying they want to find a resolution to this, you know, the United States being one, saying, hey, we want to figure out a solution to this. There have not been very many countries that have directly condoned this activity, and it seems to be fairly clear-cut as to what happened. And it is kind of an interesting situation for Canada, because when things like this happen, you know, the Canadian government quite often do condone this sort of stuff. So it's interesting to see how kind of alliances... Condemn, sorry. Yeah,
So
not condone, sorry. Not condone, condemn. I misspoke. But yes, kind of interesting to see how these alliances are playing out, you know?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we take up a large part of the map, but we're a small country, a small
Yes.
population. So, you know, interesting, but... And I think there are some. I mean, India does have some real, you know, potentially violent separatist movements, which is not excusable either.
No.
But just before we have breakfast, I have to show everyone my new hat, because, I mean, how cool is that? So that's sort of fun. So that's, and my old blue hat sort of bit the dust. So this is my new hat for a while. until eventually I break it or lose it. But isn't it cool? So I thought that was kind of fun. But because we're going to eat, I'm going to take my hat off.
Oh, you're a respectful gentleman.
I will. Oh, and the other thing I wanted to show for everyone, because I've had a lot of people from Michigan on tours lately, and it's fun. I don't know when we're going to have these, but check out these dark cherries, chocolate cherries from Michigan. Because I'll be back in Michigan in February again. But sometime I'm going to see it in the summer when the cherries are out and everything. So
when Dad first came home and he told me, he came back and said,
great
"Oh, I got these dark cherries." I was like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, I got a bag of dark cherries." It's like, "Did you bring rotten cherries on the plane with you? Like, are they breaking down?" He's like, No, they're chocolate." I was like, "Okay, well that makes a lot more sense." I had the pinwheel. All right, let's eat here in a second.
Oh, we're gonna eat? Okay.
In a second.
I'm starting to empty the dishwasher because at the end of the day, so Finn's bus comes. Oh, it's got lots of time, in a half hour.
Yeah.
And then Finn is actually skipping school this afternoon. Do you, Sharon? Yeah. Finn's skipping school this afternoon because he's giving a tour. He's getting on a tour coach with, they're either from France or from Canada. It's hard to say. Yeah, but it's in French at the end of the day. It's meant to be a gorgeous day. Now, autumn is in the air. We had fresh snow on the mountains yesterday. The day before it rained and snowed. So you can feel autumn in the air here, of course. And like I say, we're right on freezing now. Afternoon temperature is going to be about 14 today, which is about 55, something like that, maybe 60. Isn't that fun, Michelle? And I actually have a private virtual tour that, but Finn basically does these step-on ones because I'm away so much. In terms of travel the next little while. Oh yeah.
All right,
Do you want to tell us about this?
Yeah, so this is a company called Gourmet Sauvage. They're a company from Quebec, the First Nations company. Quebec province, that is. And they make some really delicious food with some stuff from the wild. Wild gourmet, exactly. And so this is their gelée de sapin, so they're tree jellies. This is made with pine trees, and it is like a jelly. And it is absolutely delicious. You can check them out online, Gourmet Sauvage. We first found these guys when we were at Salmon and Bannock, which is a First Nations restaurant in Vancouver. If you're ever in Vancouver, if you live in Vancouver, then please do go to Salmon and Bannock, go support. It is an amazing restaurant.
There's an article about it on my website.
Absolutely, yes there is. And then if you want to get some of this stuff, go to Gourmet Sauvage. We are in no way linked with them, but we're just really fond of the products, and our house is stocked with them. Really
That's right. We pay the same price you do.
Yeah.
Thanks, Patsy. But it's Finn. It's fun when Finn gets on the tours and gives them, because now he's of course taller and everything, but he's been doing it for a couple of years now, and people will look at him and say, "Sorry, is your mom or dad here?" He's like, "No, I'm the guy."
No, I'm the guy.
But
it's more funny when I go to meet the tour director, and I'll be there, and it's like, "Hi, you're Finn?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm Finn. I'm the guy." It's kind of more fun.
Zombie back.
Dad, you threw jelly on the ground.
Oh, I'm just gonna clean up Finn's jelly. Oh, is Pam here? Morning, Pam. I saw that you're here. I tried to see you. I stopped in at the chateau the other day, but you weren't there. But it was a beautiful day. Tomorrow I'm going out biking. Today I've got a fair bit to do. And then on Sunday, I have a group from Ireland arriving, just like last year. And they're farmers from Ireland, so I'm going to bring them in here. Lovely to see you. I'm going to bring them in here to see the Rockies for a few days. And then we're doing farm visits, which is really fun.
Yeah, I did one of those Irish tours too. They were a lot of fun.
You did, and I actually have a night with them up at the Saskatchewan River crossing, which I'm not going to be able to show everyone because there's no reception there. And so I've never shown it to you unless you've been here on a live tour with me. And that's up on the Icefields Parkway on the way up to the glaciers. So, Chloe, I don't know. I saw Pam is going up to the Larches. Everyone, you cannot miss the Larches. They have just come out. Merci beaucoup. The Larches have all popped. It is just gorgeous. Pam, what time? I know I put it on our Facebook group, but everyone try and see the Larches because they're just fantastic. Phil, good morning to you, pal. So Finn has given me, so basically this pancake has dates on top. It has the sapin, the pine jelly, and then maple syrup, right?
Yeah.
And what's really fun, Pam, I might be able to catch the tail end of that because I'm I've got a private virtual that'll end about then. We put in a slight little bit of hallucinogenic powder in this, and I find it helps Finn really well at drama class.
Good, right?
They're delicious. But I'm cheeky. I like more maple syrup.
Put it away.
So
Yeah, I feel like their pancakes are kind of an excuse to put maple syrup in your coffee.
really, pancake is just a means by which.
It's like an escargot.
Lois. By the way, Lois, good morning. This is my tiny baby. Lois.
Small.
Lois is my friend from Louisiana.
Louisiana.
Lois, you'll be happy to know we're right on freezing here this morning, so it's a little bit warmer. And all my Cajun friends know all about good food, so we're having whole wheat pancakes with dates and jelly from trees. And then maple syrup, which comes from trees too, but a different way.
We really like trees in Canada. They've got a lot of them. So.
Are we making you hungry, Julie? You know, it's true, and I don't tend to wake up too hungry, but I intentionally didn't eat much last night because I knew I'd be getting up
This
and
is the
having.
largest breakfast I've had in a while.
It is.
So I guess we'll talk about a few more things then that have a bit of value to them, I suppose. Just to go over a few things. We did a TikTok, Dad and I'm not sure if you saw it, but about former President Donald Trump's recent comments, very clearly anti-Semitic comments, which is absolutely awful. And I must say, I don't think anybody's very shocked, but nevertheless, there you go. It's not the first time he's made comments playing about Jewish people, but in this case, it's apparently liberal Jews that are quote-unquote ruining America.
Jewish son-in-law who took $2 billion from Saudi Arabia.
Exactly.
But yeah, so that's so you know we're having it seems that a certain percentage of the population seems empowered just to say
whatever they feel like.
Well, no, to say intentionally provocative
things, I suppose.
You know, that's what we've been seeing in this country the last little while, and it would be nice for that whole tone just to relax down a little bit, because it's just not necessary. And remember, if it kind of smells like racism, it usually is, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's an important thing for us all to acknowledge. Now, elsewhere in the world, I believe some of Eastern North America is starting to feel a bit cooler finally, because I know it has been incredibly hot. Sorry, this is a really good pancake, so I wish you were all enjoying it with me. But other things that are going on in terms of the virtual world, I've been streaming on Facebook because everyone seems to feel that this is a better platform, that it holds better than YouTube. But I still have been putting up some fun shorts on YouTube as we travel along. And as you know, it's just been so busy. If you keep up, I do every few days. I'm still trying to put up live tours for everyone's sake. Hi, Robin. Nice to see you. It's still in the 90s down there, is it? Wow, toasty. That's above 30. So I'm with this Irish group until October 1st, and then I fly to Halifax, Nova Scotia. And I'm really looking forward to getting back. Many of you know I was in Newfoundland last year, and Saint-Pierre-et-Miquelon. I won't get to Saint-Pierre this time, but I will be down in Nova Scotia, and I will be up in Newfoundland for a few days. And then I come home, and then from there, of course, I have a few days, and I go over to Croatia. So lots of travel still coming up. But I've been down to the Tetons for the last time this year. Yeah, thank you, Robin. We're having this yummy breakfast of pancakes with dates and pine jelly, and it is just delicious. Yeah, so my plan tomorrow really is the first day. I have a big chunk of a free day. So I want to try and get in a 100-kilometer bike ride, but on my road bike, not my e-bike. So that's sort of a plan. So I hope you're all getting some exercise and being healthy and happy. I have stuck with it for months now of having the cold plunges and the cold showers in the morning. Finn doesn't intentionally have cold showers, but every now and then I'm able to crank up the heat.
Sorry, who introduced you to the idea of cold showers?
Well, I mean, we've known about it for years. But yeah, so exercise-wise, well, have you won a ski pass yet?
No, I haven't. I'm kind of debating on what I want to do. Last year I didn't end up using my ski pass hardly at all, unfortunately. I really want to get in some good skiing this year. I just don't know where. I'll probably just get a Lake Louise pass again.
Yeah.
It is the, kind of our hill. The other option would be for me to get a Lake Louise Norquay joint. Have thought about that too, because Friday night skiing.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, Friday night skiing, which you can ski over town, which is really fun.
Yeah, they open up the trick park and stuff, and no one ever gets hurt there, ever.
At night.
Jumps at night.
Skiing in the dark. But
there's lights, it's lit up. And
I always get a Lake Louise midweek pass, and I waffled a bit, and I thought, I know I have to get one. So easy just to go out for a few hours at a time and go out and enjoy the skiing. And the light is just coming up out in the back, so you know what? We're just about there. So we're drinking our matze. Finn, what kind of tea are you making?
Thai tea. So I just steeped it as well. You can tell we got the mugs together. This is Thai tea, Thai iced tea. It's probably what I drink. Drink like 2 cups of this stuff every day. Yeah, that one right there. And you can see the brand name is Please Drink #1 Thai tea mix, I think.
So this is Finn's tea.
Yeah, it is very good. I first had it before we went to Thailand, actually, and then we went to Thailand and I saw their method. I'm just pouring it on some ice here. I drink probably 2 cups of this a day, and then I drink some other tea. We really like tea in our house. But then their method in Thailand for making this is really good. They mix it with some sweetened condensed milk. It makes it delicious, although I can't do that at 7:15 in the morning, so just going to mix it with some ice and some milk.
I'm worried that Finn will forget it at home, so sometimes I put a rope around his neck.
Yeah.
I tie it on.
Yes, Dad. Dad ties it on. Yeah.
So
tying back into our conversation, that's kind of the method. Is usually people mix it with some sweetened condensed milk, some regular milk, and give it like this sweet, creamy texture. But this stuff was banned in Canada for a long time because there used to be a food colorant in it, which is illegal in Canada, which made it better. But you couldn't buy that in Canada, and it wasn't like Red 40 or something like that. It was some orange mix, which is really funny because then companies would get around it by just altering it slightly, but since it was made in another countries. So now they've got imports to Canada, which means I don't have to pay as much for it, so I'm happy about that. It's really good tea.
By the way, just a technical note, we're really just doing this every now and then to say hi because we're just so busy that we haven't been doing the virtual tours the way we have in the past. But I did see someone gave a few stars. About every couple of weeks or something, Meta actually sends us some money. So, and I don't know what percentage they get and everything.
Yeah.
But it's Finn, hello. Oh, Lois, we are coming down to see you.
Oh, yes.
We are absolutely 100% planning a trip to Louisiana. We are going to fish and eat and play and laugh.
And Finn wants some seafood boiled.
So we 100% are coming down. So that is a huge plan for us. But what do you say? We're going to have to call, hey, Jen, we have to call it a day because Finn has to go to school. Apparently. So we have had pancakes. But let's just go outside and see what it looks like outside this morning, shall we? Oh, I can switch this around, see? Oh, yeah. There's that button. Oh, it doesn't switch nearly as it... There. So sunrise has just happened in the Canadian Rockies, for those of you, and we'll see what the morning temperature is like. I never know why we'd lock the door. It's because it's sometimes. So there we are.
The wind tunnel.
It's the wind tunnel. So there is the morning out there. Thanks for the start. It's lovely. So you see, it is, oh no, it's cooking warm. See? There you go. But you can still hear the birds. Now, it'll be way less than a month before this is all snowy back here, right? And there is some morning light. Look what a beautiful day this is going to be up here. Mary, you have a great day too. Oh, goodness me, it's just a perfect day. So, ladies and gentlemen, haha, there he is. You look shorter, but it's actually just standing behind.
Angle too.
That's true because our house is falling
bigger
apart.
than you now.
All right, everyone. Listen, have a lovely day. Thanks for coming to play. We're sorry that we're not doing more live tours these days. It's just too busy is the real life. But we'll get Finn back on it. And he worked retail all summer, so he knows there's other jobs in life. All right, everyone.
Take care, everyone.
Take care. Oh, final note, though, because we always finish with a hook. Right? But I want to tell you, actually, just something, because, Finn has a special friend in his life. And the other day I came home, and it